Hi, I'm Alice. I was supposed to be a doctor. At least that's what my parents had planned since I was old enough to hold a toy stethoscope. But life had other ideas. Or, more accurately, I did. The day I got my acceptance letter to Westridge Art Institute instead of med school was the last day I had a family. Art school? Are you out of your mind? We didn't invest 18 years in you to watch you throw your life away on finger painting. My mother's face had turned that particular shade of red I'd come to dread. It's not finger painting, Mom. It's my passion. I've been accepted with a partial scholarship. Not enough of a scholarship to pay your bills, my father chimed in, not even looking up from his newspaper. If you choose this ridiculous path, don't expect a dime from us. I thought they were bluffing. They weren't. 3 days after graduation, I came home to find my stuff packed in boxes on the porch and the locks changed. Just like that. 18 years of being the perfect daughter erased because I wanted to hold a paintbrush instead of a scalpel. The first few months were brutal. I crashed on couches, worked the morning shift at a coffee shop, evening shift at a restaurant, and somehow managed to drag myself to classes in between. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. You look like death warmed over, Jen said one morning, sliding into the booth at the diner where I'd fallen asleep between coffee refills. Jen was my roommate from the dorm I could barely afford. Move in with me and my sister. The rent split 3 ways is manageable, even for broke art students. I can't accept charity. It's not charity when friends help each other, dummy. Besides, you're scaring the customers with those raccoon eyes. Jen saved me that day, and probably every day after for the next 2 years. She believed in my art when even I was starting to doubt it. By junior year, I landed an internship at Gallery 520, where I met Sophia, the owner and my future mentor. You have raw talent, Alice, Sophia told me after reviewing my portfolio. Rough around the edges, but genuine. I can work with genuine. Sophia was tough, brutally honest, and demanding, but she pushed me because she saw something worth pushing. She gave me my first paying art job, designing promotional materials for the gallery. By graduation, she offered me a position as her assistant curator. Don't make me regret this, kid, she said. But I could see the pride in her eyes. That was 4 years ago. Last month, Sophia featured my first solo exhibition. That's where I met Rob. Your use of light is extraordinary, he said, standing in front of my favorite piece. It's like you're painting the space between moments. 8 years have passed since my parents decided I wasn't worth keeping. 8 years of struggle, growth, and finally finding my place. 8 years without a single call, text, or email from the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. I built a new life, brick by painful brick. A life filled with people who chose to stay. People like Jen, Sophia, and now, maybe, Rob. 6 months after meeting Rob at my exhibition, we were inseparable. On our anniversary, he took me back to Gallery 520, now closed for a private event. Why are all the lights off? Is Sophia trying a new minimalist approach? Just trust me, Rob said, guiding me through the darkness. When the lights flicked on, I gasped. The entire main gallery had been transformed. My paintings surrounded us, but arranged in a timeline, from my earliest student work to my most recent pieces. In the center stood Rob, next to a new canvas I'd never seen before. I commissioned this from Jen, he explained. She helped me plan this whole thing. The painting showed Rob on one knee, holding a ring. I turned around to find him in the exact same position. You showed me the world through your eyes, Alice. I want to spend forever seeing it with you. The ring was simple but perfect, just like our relationship. I tackled him with a hug before he even finished the question. 3 weeks into wedding planning, Rob's father Marcus came to town to meet me. So you're the artist who stole my son's heart, Marcus said, pulling me into an unexpected bear hug. He sends me pictures of your work all the time. You've got something special, kid. Unlike my parents, Marcus asked questions about my art. Real questions that showed genuine interest. He didn't care about prestige or money. He cared that I made his son happy. One evening, while Rob was working late, Marcus and I shared a bottle of wine on our apartment balcony. You know, I never understood art until Rob started dating you. Now I can't stop seeing the world differently. That might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said about my work. What do your folks think of your success? I stared into my wine glass. They don't know. We haven't spoken since I was 18. Their loss, Marcus said simply, refilling my glass. Some people don't deserve the children they're given. The guest list debate started after Marcus left. You sure you don't want to at least send them an invitation? Rob asked. What would be the point? They made their choice 8 years ago. The decision was made easier when my cousin Emma called out of the blue. Alice, thank God I found you. I'm in town for a conference and just saw the announcement about your engagement in the local arts newsletter. We met for coffee the next day, and Emma dropped a bomb. I've been trying to find you for years, but your parents told everyone you were too busy with your medical residency to keep in touch. Medical what now? They've been telling everyone you went to med school. They even have your artwork hanging in their house, claiming you send it to them regularly. You've got to be kidding me. At Thanksgiving, your mom was bragging about how they funded your first gallery showing. I nearly choked on my latte. They kicked me out and changed the locks. I worked 3 jobs to pay for school. That night, as I vented to Rob about my parents' lies, my phone buzzed with a text from a number I'd deleted but never forgotten. We hear you're getting married. We expect front row seats and a proper acknowledgement in your speech for all we've done for you. Send details ASAP, Mom. I deleted my mother's text without responding and blocked the number. But apparently, 8 years of silence had only made my parents more determined. Emails started flooding my work account. We've given you space to grow up. Now it's time to act like an adult and respect your family. Then came the voicemails to the gallery. Alice, this is ridiculous. We're your parents. Stop this childish silent treatment. My mother's voice echoed through Sophia's office speakerphone. These people are unbelievable, Sophia muttered. Want me to file a harassment complaint? Not yet. I'm hoping they'll just give up. They didn't. 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a call from our venue coordinator. Miss Wells, I've just had a rather uncomfortable conversation with a woman claiming to be your mother, Diana. She was demanding to change your seating arrangements and insisting on adding 14 people to your guest list. What? How did she even find out where we're having the wedding? She said she was helping with planning. When I explained we only communicate with the listed contacts, you and your fiancé, she became agitated. I called Rob immediately, who rushed home from work. This is getting out of hand, Rob said, pacing our living room. They have no right to bulldoze their way into your life. We arranged an emergency meeting with Jen, who'd become my wedding planner, and Victor, the venue's security manager. Here's what we'll do, Victor explained, spreading the venue layout on our dining table. I'll have 2 security staff at each entrance. No one gets in without being on the approved list. I've got photos of your parents from Emma, Jen added, sliding printouts across the table. Security will have these. And I've talked to the photographer, Rob said. If they somehow get in, he'll alert security immediately. That night, after 3 glasses of wine and Rob's encouragement, I finally called my parents back. So you finally decided to acknowledge us, my father answered. Listen carefully because I'm only going to say this once. You are not invited to my wedding. You are not welcome in my life. Don't be dramatic, Alice. We're your parents. Parents don't abandon their children over career choices. Parents don't lie to family about supporting their kids. And parents certainly don't try to hijack a wedding. We have every right to be there. What will people think? My mother shrieked. I don't care what people think. I care about having a happy day with people who actually love me. Family should be present at weddings. It's tradition, my father said sternly. You forfeited the right to call yourselves family 8 years ago. The next day, Rob's sister, Vanessa, flew in early. Rob told me about your parents, Vanessa said, dropping her bags in our guest room. I moved my flight up. Thought you could use another bodyguard. Is it that obvious I'm freaking out? Only to those of us who care about you. Besides, I've always wanted to play bouncer. Vanessa was exactly the reinforcement we needed. Having been through a nasty divorce, she understood toxic people better than most. Our wedding day arrived bright and perfect. The ceremony was scheduled for sunset at the Botanical Gardens. My dress, a sleek, modern design, felt like armor. "You look incredible," Jen whispered, adjusting my veil one last time. The music started. Everything was perfect. Then Victor's voice crackled through the radio. "We have a situation at the north entrance. The Wells parents are demanding entry, claiming they have every right to be here." "Don't let them ruin this," Rob said, squeezing my hand as we hurried toward the commotion. At the garden entrance, my parents stood arguing with Victor and his security team. My mother wore an extravagant dress that screamed "Mother of the Bride," while my father looked ready to explode. "There she is," my mother pointed dramatically. "Alice, tell these men to let us in. We're your parents." "They're not on the list," Victor explained calmly. "As per your instructions." My father stepped forward. "This is outrageous. We've supported you through everything, and this is how you repay us?" "Supported me?" My voice was steadier than I felt. "You haven't spoken to me in 8 years. We gave you space to mature," my mother sniffed. "And now we're here to celebrate your special day that we helped fund." Several guests had gathered to watch the drama unfold. Among them, I spotted Emma and other relatives I hadn't seen in years. "You funded nothing," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You kicked me out at 18 and changed the locks." "She's being dramatic," my mother announced to the crowd. "We've always supported her medical career." "Medical career?" Sophia stepped forward. "Alice is an accomplished artist who worked herself to exhaustion building her career without a cent from you." My father's face darkened. "Be careful, young lady. We can still cut you off completely." That's when Marcus stepped through the crowd, standing tall beside me. "Cut her off from what? The nothing you've given her for 8 years? I've known Alice for months, and she's told me everything." "And who are you?" my mother demanded. "I'm the father of the groom, and a better parent to your daughter in 6 months than you've been in her entire life." My parents looked around, realizing they were losing their audience. Relatives were whispering, expressions changing from confusion to shock. "We have proof," Jen announced, holding up her tablet. "Emma provided us with recordings from family gatherings. Would you like to hear yourselves taking credit for Alice's achievements?" With perfect timing, Vanessa pressed play on the portable speaker. My mother's voice rang out clear. "Of course we paid for Alice's art education. We've supported her every step of the way." The crowd fell silent. My parents' faces went from red to white. "Now you have 2 choices," Rob said firmly. "Leave quietly or be escorted out." "This isn't over," my father hissed as security guided them away. 1 month after our perfect wedding, which proceeded without further interruption, the apology texts started arriving. "Alice, please call us. We made mistakes. We miss you." Delete. "We were wrong. Please give us another chance." Delete. "Tonight, we're celebrating my first international exhibition." Around our dining table sit Rob, Marcus, Vanessa, Jen, and Sophia, my real family. "To chosen family," Rob toasts, raising his glass. As my phone buzzes with another ignored message from my parents, I look around at the people who stood by me when it mattered. "To chosen family," I agree. "The only kind worth having." What would you do if your parents who disowned you for 8 years suddenly demanded to be part of your most important life event? Would you give them another chance or permanently cut them out of your life like Alice did? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know where you stand on this. Has anyone experienced something similar with family members trying to re-enter your life on their terms? If you enjoyed this revenge story, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. New videos every day that'll have you cheering for justice.